Dear learners, welcome to the course on Inclusive Education. In this session, we are going to learn about the principles and challenges of inclusive education. Learning objectives of this session is to analyze the principles of inclusive education and appraise the challenges in inclusive education. Principles and challenges of inclusive education. The first one is access. Accessibility to the services that is provided in the inclusive school environment. Next principle is equity. Treating each and every child in the classroom and the school as equal like their age and grade appropriate peers. Number 3 is relevance. Relevance to the curriculum and the teaching learning materials and all the learning environment that is being provided in the school to suit the child with disability in the inclusive classroom. Number 4 is participation. That is ensuring the fullest participation of children with disabilities in the inclusive education by providing adaptive curriculum, adapting teaching learning material and all such other assistive learning materials to ensure the learning and participation of children with disabilities. And the fifth principle is empowerment. So by providing accessibility, equity, relevance and participation in the activities and curriculum and all other means of learning resources, empowerment should be provided to children with disabilities in the inclusive environment. So these are the 5 key principles of inclusive education system. And as an outcome of these principles of inclusive education, participation of learners will be increased and excluding children with disabilities in the classroom is reduced, and flexible curriculum is provided to each and every child in the classroom based on their unique and individual specific need, which creates inclusive school culture and promotes the enrollment and the achievement of children with disability in the general education system. And policies and practices should be updated in order to promote inclusion and to develop these children with disabilities to participate in the inclusive society. And these are the 7 key issues which are derived from the principles of inclusive education, that is how an inclusive education system can function in an effective way to reach the children with disabilities in the inclusive education system. The first one is providing access and participation by enrollment, accessibility in order to meet the individual needs. Number 2 is valuing diversity of each child in the classroom. Number 3 is ensuring local decision and adjustment for effective and appropriate adjustment to access and participate in the curriculum. Number 4 is implementing a new framework for resource allocation based on the individual need of child with disability. Then number 5 is to match the pedagogy with the student need, that is the flexible curriculum. Number 6 is delivering responsible programs and services to reach children with disabilities. And number 7 is collaborating for the better outcome. And the challenges in inclusive education are physical, sensory, cognitive and socio-emotional. So in an inclusive classroom, all these challenged children will be enrolled and will be learning. So an inclusive education system and inclusive education teacher should come forward to address to all these challenges in inclusive education, and the principles of inclusive education should address to meet these challenges and to overcome this and to facilitate the child to learn in an effective inclusive environment. So finally, all children can learn if effectively the principles of inclusive education system are met with.